They're raving
At
on
this
the table.
point, he says, "Why isn't he responding to me?" And Vaughn just goes, "Behold a man!"
Welcome back to Fairly Adventurous, everyone. We have your background is dark. Wow, I've never seen it like that. I'm already distracted. Anyway, welcome back to Fairly Adventurous. Thank you guys for joining us. We're getting to about the halfway point of the season. There it is. Thank you guys for sticking it out with us so much. I hope you've enjoyed it. We're gonna keep playing. We're going to roll right into it. After one personal message and a quick update, we're going to be out Levi and out Melvin tonight. Excuse me. I've completely blanked on Levi's character's name. Do I have to?
Wasn't it Tarax?
Tarax, that's right. Tarax Alizard.
A lizard?
Definitely not
Alizard?
a lizard, right. Tarax Alizard is not gonna be present with us. And Milo's character will have a little bit to do tonight. I'll kind of step in and play it. But Melvin is out, and then Levi is currently at a rehearsal dinner for a friend's wedding. So completely understandable. He's actually in the wedding. It was funny. He was over at my house last weekend, and I asked him, I was like, "Oh, what are you going to do with your downtime activities?" And he goes, "Oh, I've been thinking about that." And before he could finish it, his girlfriend was like, "No, you're not. We're in a wedding." And he's like, "Oh yeah, we're in a wedding. It's Saturday." "Oh, right, but I'm in the wedding and I have to go to the rehearsal dinner Friday." So yeah, he's not going to be here with us today. We have the rest of the crew, as you guys can all tell. And on a personal note, I just have a thing to celebrate. Today, as of recording, my children are acknowledged to be my children legally by the state. So, yay! You guys might see a picture of them pop up in edit. I don't know, because I can officially do that now. So, I don't have to worry about them running into view for reasons other than the fact that they'll probably be naked running from the bathtub. So anyway, Andrew knows what I'm talking about.
I do.
But previously on D&D, we'll jump right into it. The group was told by Duke Margrave that he needed them available on noon 20 days from today. And the party said that they would certainly do it. There are fees for staying at the Old Coast Inn in Kings Hill District have been paid up until that point, so they're good to go there. They were approached by one of the head kind of administrators and jewelers of Precious Metal Works, an esteemed business in the Southern District that is known for its finely crafted items, custom swords, ceremonial armors, tiaras, stuff like that, crowns. And they assisted them in killing a spectator who had been summoned by previous administrators of Precious Metal Works, and was about to run up on its 100-year lease. And so it was going to kill and maim all the people that had basically imprisoned it for the past 100 years. The party stopped that from happening, almost at the loss of Ranshaw. It's a little cutting it close there.
It hurt.
And that is actually where we're at. That was pretty much the recap of the last session. So you guys have not had a long rest yet. You're leaving Precious Metal Works. You were told, as a reminder, that for compensation, you'll get a ring of protection, but they need, I think I said, a 10-day to finish it, so you'll have to come back for that. Good news is you have time. You have 19 days plus whatever's left of this day, and so we'll just jump right into it. I'll let you guys get back into whatever you're doing. You're just leaving Precious Metal Works, and you're currently in the Southern District. Go.
Well, that was an experience, wouldn't you say?
That was pretty impressive. You jumping on the daggum thing.
Yeah. I'm glad that Mon was there to help out, though.
I wish I could see in the dark.
I was doing my best to get up there.
That's why I brought the torch, because I remembered. That said, I don't know about the rest of you. I don't quite believe that clever back fellow when he says that they might not try to do something this stupid again. You, y'all think that maybe we should at least leave like an anonymous tip with the city guard to have them check this place out in a week just to make sure they ain't trying to do something so dangerous again?
We should
I don't know. He seemed pretty terrified.
True.
if we were to do that, maybe in 11 days.
Ah, right. Don't want to get in the way of that ring of yours. That's fair. I mean, if they do it again, whatever they summon will be good for the next 100 years. So, like, the guard's got some time to deal with it. I suppose.
Yes.
Nah, by then I'll be dead.
To not have to worry about things just a mere century away.
I would like to live over 100 years old.
Do you not on the regular?
I don't know.
Oh.
I'm a new dragonborn.
You shorter lived species are so much fun. I say we go back to the inn, though, rest up, get some good food. I think I got some good herbs in my sack back in my room. We could have some of those. Make a real party out of it.
You got some oregano. Sorry, I'm not here.
Sounds like we're talking about time.
Well, on my way to Coasthold, I know that there are, couple. I know I found some interesting mushrooms. Dang it, broke character already.
Let's go.
That's it. I really am hurting here.
Let's go
I
get
don't
you a
enjoy
nap.
flirting with the specter of death.
Let's head back to the inn then.
For sure, thanks. You know, this whole ordeal has really highlighted we don't have a lot by way of like magical restoration other than your your fantastic ability, Ara. How
Yeah,
often can you do that?
I can only do so much in the, uh, between my sleep cycles.
I might have to do something to help with that while we wait on the good pleasure of the Margrave or the Duke. Is he a Margrave or a Duke? Is he Duke Margrave? I don't think I ever like made that connection before.
I
Like,
was I was thinking I was gonna get a potion at least, and suggest everyone else get one because in that last battle, I had to make my way to you, and it was a little scary.
Milo speaks up at this point. He says, I think it would be great if everyone had a potion.
I was actually thinking along the lines of some potions. You know how when we were on the ship, I was able to be a little more useful after that first night? I could do something similar if we can get enough raw materials and get me the right equipment. I could actually make the potions with enough time.
Oh,
So
Would
almost
this be a more cost-effective way of doing it?
It should. I mean, typically, potions are sold at a bit of a markup. So if we can just get the raw materials, I can make about a potion a day. So even if I only spent like just a week, that's enough. One potion for each of us plus a little extra, you know?
yeah.
Assuming we can find enough raw materials, that is. I don't know how much is going to be here in the city, but it's worth a shot.
Well, I just drank the things. Tell us what we need and we can seek it.
Right. I can get you that list tomorrow when I actually know what I'm doing.
You did mention something, bit of a smoke. Shall we head back? Shall we head back to the room?
For
Please tell me
sure,
you have
man.
the dwarven stuff.
I actually don't remember. It'll be interesting to see what I have.
Milo says, I'm always down to get messed up. Melvin's gonna watch this and he's gonna be like, what are you doing with my character? I'm gonna be like, I don't know. All right, so you guys, sounds like you guys want to make your way back to the Old Coast Inn, and you guys do so. They're not the same individuals who were there when you guys left, but there's the same number of individuals. Maybe one or two more have come in listening to the music of the entertainer that you guys saw when you walked in this morning. Still there, playing on a lyre. And they all seem to be enjoying themselves. Kind of a midday break from whatever work that they are doing to earn coin for their resources. But you guys make it all back about an hour later. We're probably looking at, it's probably about we'll say 2:00 in the afternoon at the moment. I think is approximately, because you guys got back in town on the at 10 hour there. Yeah, we'll say it's about 1:30, 2:00 in the afternoon at the moment.
While we're searching for those raw ingredients, we should definitely go by the armor shop.
If you give me a few days out in the woods, I might be able to procure some of the ingredients more naturally and for free. Those organic materials.
As long
I
as
heard they
they're
mark up for
gluten free.
That's excellent.
Vegan certified.
All right, I'm hungry.
I'm just kidding. I ate meat.
We should definitely get back to the inn so I can get some of that food.
Well, you guys are there, so.
Oh, yeah, my bad. Yeah, you're right.
Did you take a step back outside?
I did.
He
No.
took a hit on that head somehow during that.
He
fight.
took a hit of those herbs.
Those herbs.
I was saying, we haven't long rested yet, right?
No.
I didn't somehow miss that.
No. All right, I would like to talk to the innkeeper
Okay.
about some food.
Yeah. I mean, there's some dried meats and tree nuts out on the table for you. You could consume a little bit of that to keep yourself engaged. There was an early morning kind of similar dried meats and fruits this morning that you consumed a little bit of. So between the two, you know, you're able to get enough sustenance for yourself. Maybe if you had some snack at tonight as well. But you get some food, dry the standard tavern dried meats and nuts. Maybe a little bit of bread, although it's not exactly fresh bread. He says, you need something to drink with that?
Yes, I do.
Water, ale?
I will take an ale.
2 silver. And he gets down a good sized mug for you. Pours you a kind of golden brown drink and slides it over to you.
I'd be down a hearty refreshment after a job well done.
All right. Anyone else? Light him up.
Thank you.
Pull something out of my pack. Yeah.
All right. So anyone who wants one, pay your 2 silver and get one. And you guys can sit down and enjoy the musings. It's so Larry, the bottom of your drink there blended in with Can't Win 'Em All Gaming, and so it looked like you tipped it up and it was completely hollow. It was funny. So you guys take a seat and enjoy the musical ambiance of the lyrist behind you. As Andrew, so Milo says, "All right, now about those mushrooms. What are we?"
Right. Hang on. Go upstairs to the room that we were staying in. Come back down. All right. So this one, I've got a few. This one I know. It helps you feel really relaxed. This one, I'm actually not quite sure what it does exactly, but I'm 90% certain that it's safe to consume. And this final one, gonna be honest, man, I couldn't tell if this is the one that helps you see like potential visions of the future, or if it will like potentially kill you. So
All right,
possible clairvoyant mushroom, possible deadly poison.
anyone who wants to make a survival check or a nature check. Now let's go with survival. Yeah, nature or survival, either one may do so at this very moment.
Oric's kind of drawn to this potentially clairvoyant mushroom, so yes, he's going to
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, I definitely just
for just a measly 9.
forgot to pull up Roll20, so
All right, take your time.
just a second.
So
All right.
Milo points at the second one. You say, he said, "Don't eat that one. That one will give you the runs." And then he points at the one that's clairvoyant, and he says, "That one's definitely going to give you visions of the future."
I made a
Do I trust
13
Milo's?
on my survival check on the clairvoyant mushroom.
You know as much as you think you know. It could be clear. Milo's telling you it's clairvoyant, so.
All right.
And he's a ranger.
Well,
Do
I
you
see
reckon
no
that's
reason
big
why
enough for both of us to ingest?
Well, I guess we could like half dose it, you know? Why
Let's
not?
see what tomorrow brings.
There we go. Take out one of my daggers, cut it in half. Here you go. Let's do this.
Does that mean that you each get a half a day of the future?
Oh, that's a 23 on
We-
my
Okay.
We each
survival.
get to roll half of a character sheet.
All right. Mon, I'm whispering something to you.
I saw the talk bubble show up, so yes.
I'm just gonna sit here and eat my dried meat and drink my ale and see what happens.
Okay. So hold on, let me there we go. Okay. So you drink it, you guys are sitting there for a little bit. You avoid the middle mushroom, which Milo has clearly said is poisonous. Or not necessarily poisonous, but will give you unfortunate bowel movements. And he takes a sip of his ale and he just keeps his eyes keep moving back and forth between Ranshaw and Oric. Both of you give me constitution checks.
There it is.
I should have gotten a perception or insight on Milo because I asked the question.
You didn't. You just said, "Do I trust him?" You didn't say anything. You didn't ask. Do you want to? It's too late now. You already consumed it.
Oric is a
Mon
dwarf,
definitely
right?
partakes as well if...
Okay, so does
did Mon want some? We could retcon that to thirds.
Okay, yeah, we'll retcon it. So Mon, yeah, you get a third.
And
I need everyone who
Oric-
partakes. Everyone who partakes needs to give me a con save.
If Orc is a dwarf, does he get to roll this at advantage due to certain dwarf racial abilities?
I'll let Oric decide if he wants to do that or not.
Oh, for con, wow. Actually, that's good.
Not for
Okay. Oh no.
I might be struggling. I knew what it was.
Josh,
it's been a
darn
while since I've partaken. So the
Chase, do you know how long it takes to ship something from the US to where you are? I'm gonna buy you a set of dice. This is getting ridiculous.
depends.
Uh,
Yeah, that's a 6 total.
6 total. Okay. Oric?
I'm trying to figure out what he's talking about. The Constitution.
if potentially this is going to involve poison, dwarves have a racial ability to. You have advantage on Constitution saves versus poison.
I wouldn't say that this is poisonous. However, I would say that the racial bonus could apply if so desired. I will let Oric decide
if he wants
that or not.
Am I gonna get high today?
It was a regular con save, or was it just con
Con
roll?
check. Con check.
Con check.
So that would be a total of 9.
9. Okay.
And 19 over here.
And
17
19
on the die plus 2.
Okay. All right, so Milo's over there just continually moving his eyes back and forth, and every once in a while you think you see a smirk. Oric and Mon, you guys, you're about to ask Milo why he's smirking when suddenly Milo's hair goes from white to neon green. And Ranshaw's hair, which you're accustomed to changing, is all of the colors.
Oh, that's real
that
good,
you've seen so far.
I don't have hair, so I suddenly have hair now.
I apologize. What's your what? I thought you said your previous like your is it just your skin tone or your eye color?
My skin tone is what changes.
His skin tone is all of the colors you've seen so far.
All the colors that I could possibly perceive are
no, just the 4 that you've seen from him. It's as if
from him.
Yeah, from him. The 4 colors you've seen.
I'm all the seasons.
So his skin's going
changing, but like pieces of him, like it's almost as if someone took him to Halo Infinite and put like an armor skin on him. It's like pieces of him are orange and pieces of him are autumn colors. And you look, both of you, after a moment, look at gosh darn it, why am I forgetting everyone's names? Ara, and instead of a dragonborn, whom you guys are accustomed to, it's just a really big chicken. Currently
even though he's a chicken, do I recognize him as Ara?
No. I mean, yes, he's a chicken. It's like his head is out, and he's got like feathers, but he's still in clothing. Like it's still the clothing that his armor and everything somewhat matches.
So there's a resemblance.
So he's humanoid chicken.
It's a humanoid chicken is probably the best way to think about that. Yeah.
And you said is Ranshaw experiencing this?
Ranshaw is not. Ranshaw, you do feel a little fuzzy. There seems to be some blurring at the edges of your vision. Yeah. And every once in a while, it kind of seems like a flash of color goes across your eyes. But for most part, you're perceiving reality as is.
And aside from Ranshaw's color, he looks normal to me.
Yes, at the moment.
Okay. So I look at Ranshaw. This be the good stuff. It reminds me of the days on my caravan. Us wilderness folk, we used to pop shrooms all the time. And these are the good ones. You're awfully bright today.
I do think I'm feeling a little something.
Oh, I'm more than feeling it. I'm saying it.
Milo's just like.
So I can kind of like so Mon like kind of sees the feathers coming off of Aura.
Yeah.
And so you see him kind of just. It looks like he's grabbing something and pulling off. But he's not quite touching Aura, just near.
Yeah. Of course.
And then he just keeps going. How much time has roughly passed at this point?
About 10 minutes.
About 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay.
taking a little
I
bit
mean,
of
he's
time to
just
kick
still
in.
going, and then if the camera like kind of zoomed into like his POV, he just is still pulling, and then he looks over
And when you
at
look
Ranshaw, and then every time he looks at Ranshaw, you just hear
Sandstorm.
and then after a few minutes of that and Sandstorm playing auditorily, it's canon hallucination. It's an auditory hallucination playing in your head right now.
But played by a Lear, since there's a Lear in the
Yeah.
background.
I want the internet to find me a Lear version of Sandstorm now.
Right.
or make one if you're talented.
Yeah.
There we go.
Eventually you look over at Auric, Mon, and Auric's, I assume Auric, as the stereotypical dwarf, you have a beard.
Yes.
Yeah. The beard has grown to the size of his body. It's almost as if his beard has turned into a complete blanket over him.
Auric is very focused on Aro right now, and then you see something building up, swelling up in his chest, and then all of a sudden there's this massive outburst.
You cut out there, Josh. What was that?
I look at Mon. Why isn't he responding to me?
All right, so as you say that to me, how long have we been doing this at this point? Probably another
I'll
5-10
say
minutes?
you've been pulling feathers for about for a solid 5 minutes.
Okay.
And suddenly
And so
you look down, and some of the feathers have grown arms and are dancing to Sandstorm.
Okay.
They're raving
At
on
this
the
point,
table.
he says, "Why isn't he responding to me?" And Mon just goes, "Behold a man!"
A man? That's a chicken?
Oh my gosh.
It is a featherless biped.
Oh. Plus 1,000 Greek philosopher points for you. Gosh darn it.
What am I seeing at this point?
You're seeing, you didn't take any.
I know, but
So you just keep seeing Mon get his hands real close to you and pull stuff away, and then he just suddenly out of nowhere went like this and yelled to your direction, "Behold a man!" Even though you're a dragonborn. So
Oh my gosh.
And as you look, Chase, Mon sees several of the feathers that you've pulled off climbing up the beard of Auric. just trying to make their way. Auric, you're looking at Mon right now, and
Who's still in the Tada stance?
yeah, he's still in the Tada stance, and as he does the Tada stance, it almost appears as if a third arm grows out from behind his back and does
I
the
just start
Tada as
slapping
well.
at it.
You
I just
what?
start slapping it. I start slapping at the third arm. both hands. They're like, what is that? You got mutants?
I didn't expect my silly little joke to turn into a a bad trip roll.
Who said it's bad?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not bad so far. We got Feathers dancing to Sandstorm, and Chase is growing a third arm. I don't understand the problem.
So I look at Ranchon,
Depends on
and we
the
still
locale
got
of that
the
third arm.
we still got the da-da-da-da-da. And then I look at the feathers climbing up the beard, and then it just instant transitions to dun 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 dun. dun. That was terrible, but
That's all right.
anyway, Mission Impossible.
I know you go for it. Yeah. All right, Milo is just straight up smiling at the moment, and Oric, you catch a glimpse of Milo. You catch a glimpse of Milo, and it appears that his teeth all have smiles as well, especially his two front incisors. It's just a mouthful.
We might
of
be getting to bad trip territory.
Hey, Milo.
What?
I think you need to make a trip to the dentist. You got a little weirdness going on in that mouth of yours.
He goes, describe it for me.
Your smile has smiles inside of smiles on its smiles.
You said smiles a lot there.
Yeah, because there's a lot of smiles.
Okay.
Let me see if I can rub it off for you. I lick my thumb and I start trying to like do on his teeth.
He stops your hand. He says, "Please don't. I would appreciate it."
Are you saying smiles or smells?
Smiles?
I can
But
smell
I understand the confusion.
Smell.
And then Orc gives the most just grim smile, just like, smiles!
Hey, Milo,
Yes.
what did you let them get into?
Oh, a very potent hallucinogen. Yeah.
The chicken pox!
This is
It speaks
crazy.
English!
I don't know what's going on. I just know that I'm eating my food and drinking my drink, and yeah, this is getting crazy.
What is English? I meant common.
I wasn't gonna comment on it.
Yeah. The two of them are all acting like that, and me, I'm over here like Legolas, and like I think I feel something.
He's having the clairvoyancy. We're just tripping.
Yeah. And Milo says, "Okay, gentlemen, tell me about the future." He can't help but he snickers.
Orc starts thinking really hard. There's just a scowl on his face. Well, the future's what you want it to be. And really, the future's in just now's the future. Now is the future. Now is the future. Now is the future.
When will then be now? Soon.
Now is then, but when?
I'm just hearing him say that, and I'm just like, okay.
But if you really think about it, right now is now, and in a second is now, and now is the future. You have to understand it. Does that make sense to you?
Are we there yet?
Yeah, we're here.
Are we there yet?
Now is then.
You guys see Milo just absolutely grinning his mouth full of smiles all the time.
Come on, close your eyes really quick. Open them.
Hold on. Or Mon closes his eyes, and it's just another pair of eyes looking at him.
Well, that's a neat trick. You gotta show me how to do it sometime. Can you close those eyes too? All right, now open them. Both sets.
Yep, there's 4.
Yeah, welcome to the future. You're here.
Gotta go back to the past. Samurai Jack.
Milo takes another sip of his drink, but what you Mon, what you notice when he does that is that his paws are now horse hooves. As he's taking sip of ale and setting it back down. Says, "This was worth it. This was worth every second."
Do I hear Milo say that?
Yes.
Yeah, the future's worth it.
All right, we got to move on now. So this goes on for about another 10 minutes. Sandstorm continues to play. Dun 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 continues to play. Milo's fur event at some point just completely disappears. It keeps shifting colors and then it's just gone. The beard of Auric to Mon, it covers his body and eventually it braids itself. The chicken of Ara turns into an Aarakocra at one point, and then you swear that he sprouted wings and flew away, and then came back bearing eggs. There's just a bunch of crazy stuff happens, and and by about a half hour more, maybe 45 minutes more, total trip time about an hour, you guys start to come down, and the stuff starts to disappear, and you just feel really hungry. All of a sudden, your metabolism just needs to be fed.
Renshaw,
Yeah.
I'm getting a bit hungry now. The come down's happening. I'm just curious. Do you have any more I can eat?
Fortunately not. I wasn't able to spend too much time looking for some of the fun stuff. I don't think the inn here is necessarily equipped for large meals. We could try to go find a restaurant in town. We got some money.
Ye old Taco Bell. Yep.
I could eat a whole heifer. I think we should. But should you ever procure some more of those, as which we split, I'd like to try a whole one.
I could eat a small horse. Looks at the rabbit that previously had hooves. And did you know that bears had eggs?
Oh gosh. Well, I think we all go out and try to get some food, or at least those of us that partook.
Okay. Yeah, anyone who wants to go out and find a specific meal can do so by just traversing the city. Takes a little bit of time. Go ahead and pay, let's say 6 silver for kind of street vendors that you're looking for if you go out and buy one. And then one by one, you guys, well, not one by one, you guys are a group. You guys make it back to the Old Coast Inn just around sunset. We'll say probably around 8:30. Yeah, 8:30ish, since we're in the midsummer months of Coasthold. And yeah, if you guys just want to go up to your beds and call it a night, we can take a long rest.
It's been a long day.
I believe that Ranshaw very much would like to rest for the evening.
Okay. Auric had to be right back, so let's do this. Ranshaw, you would wake up first because you just need a trance to rejuvenate.
Yep.
We'll say because you took so much injury, your body actually does take longer than your normal 4 hours to get the benefits of the long rest.
I'm cool with that.
And also after your body's still working some of the mushroom out.
Right.
You wake up and you have to really go to the bathroom, and it is a bright shade of yellow. Almost concerningly so. As your body processed it out, or your liver processed it out. But you drink you take a sip of water immediately. And then you can go about your business. We'll say it's you wait till the early morning hours, just because it doesn't matter if you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, no one else is going to.
Right.
So you spend a little bit of time just thinking about your day, getting your mood right. And it's about 5 o'clock in the morning now, and you can begin.
So I will say that after that long rest, of course, I've moved into the next season. My skin tone's changed. I also Did knowing what I was wanting to do today, I spent the time communing with the ancestral memory,
Mm-hmm.
and I wake up suddenly knowing all about herbalism kits and alchemy sets. I know all about that stuff.
Sure.
So, however, I'm weirdly not happy about it because it's winter. Winter's coming, baby.
Winter is here.
Winter is here.
All right.
So, nobody else awake.
At that point, Milo walks out of his room. I can't remember who I said is all roommates. I think you're with Auric, and I think Ara has Milo.
Yes.
So Milo walks out at that point, having taken the least amount of damage, I think, of anyone in that last fight.
Right.
And says,
More damage.
Good morning. I was hoping you'd be up.
Morning, yes. Good. To be determined. Surprised to see you awake so soon.
Rangers are early risers. Best to get a jump out before, the night creatures still try and eat you.
Makes sense. Why were you hoping I would be awake already?
Well, I had assumed that you were going to look for health potion equipment today. And I wanted to assist in that.
Would be nice to have somebody along to assist. All right. Yes, I am ready now. I have the knowledge that I need to do this thing. Going to need to probably find multiple shops to get what we need. Also need to get an herbalism kit and an alchemy set, which may not exactly be cheap. So we should probably get an early start.
I agree. I'll put some gold to this. I meant what I said yesterday. I think it would be best if every member of our party had a potion just in case.
It's good. I'm thinking I am beginning to like you.
You didn't already?
When like this, on the fence about most everybody.
Practical.
Yeah. Well,
after you,
let's
sir.
go.
Absolutely, after you.
All right. So you said it's like 5 a.m?
Yeah, around 5. Now, by the time you having been around the city for a little bit now, you're starting to get the sense that what you're looking for is going to be in the Southern District. So it will take a little bit of time to walk down that way and peruse. So by the time you get down there, it's probably around 6:15. Shops aren't necessarily open, but you can start looking for the shops that you're needing.
Okay, yeah. So Milo and I will start looking around to see what shops we will need to hit once we notice that they're open for business.
Okay.
To be as efficient as possible.
Sure. You find a couple apothecaries that would certainly probably have alchemical supplies. Maybe some herbs. You find a couple, I won't say markets, more selling of items that are not to be used specifically for food, but more like homemade remedies, botanical items for getting rid of insect, putting stuff to get rid of insects in your gardens and stuff like that. That would probably have the herbs that you're looking for. A couple different shops, and you guys spend some time scouting, and around 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, those shops start to open up. And you can start to go in. You walk into the first one that or not the first one that you saw, but the first one that opened up that was in your area.
Yeah.
And you see a kindly orc actually sitting back there, and he says, "How can I help you?"
Morning. I am I am looking to procure a basic herbalism kit. I do not know if you perhaps have that, or a basic alchemy set. Nothing too fancy, just the bare minimum apparati that would be needed.
I don't dabble much in alchemical, but I can help you with the herbalism kit.
Fantastic.
Yes. It will I can set you up one for about 5 gold.
All right, sounds reasonable. Would also like to know if you have perhaps any of these, and I will just give them. I kind of worked on a list of all the different ingredients that I'd
Right.
need. It's like that. Any of these that you happen to have available, would like to buy as much as you have on hand.
He looks at this. Purified water, silkworm skin. No, I'm sorry. Health potions. That's what we're going for.
Duh.
No. Just well, I don't currently have any. There was a shop a couple weeks ago that bought up everything, all these ingredients that we had. They got a contract for the army. If they have anything left, I can point them your way, but I know they bought up most of the healing potion ingredients in the district.
Well, I'd at least like to give it a shot.
Sure.
So
He said, and he gives you directions to.
appreciate it.
Yeah, he gives you directions to Moonlight Apothecary.
Okay. Apothecary.
Moonlight Apothecary. It's probably about a 15-minute walk from you. It's located right in the middle of the breezeway.
Would you also know where I could procure the alchemy set?
I think they sell them. I think Moonlight sells them. Some of the other apothecary stores would probably be able to set you up too. I don't know about their prices though.
Very good. I appreciate the forthrightness and the straight shooting.
Of course. I
Yours
appreciate the 5 gold.
Absolutely.
And he slides you a mortar and a pestle and some forceps, and some basic clamps that you would need to be able to extract from.
Right. All the stuff in an herbalism kit.
Correct. The stuff that the ill-defined herbalism kit that D&D leaves up to the imagination of its players.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So -5 gold, +1 herbalism kit. Woo. Yeah. Well, Milo, you heard the nice orc. I suppose we should try this Moonlight Apothecary. If they were buying up all the materials, apparently, if they don't have it, we may need to rely on Monkish on if he is able to forage for anything outside the city.
Miles says, I could help with that too, but yeah, let's go see what Moonlight has.
Sounds good. I guess we head to Moonlight Apothecary.
Okay. The directions are solid to it. You do get a little lost in the city just because you have a general idea, but you take a wrong turn, just getting confused. Easy fix though. Within, it only really delays you for about 6 minutes or so, but you get there with about 20 minutes. And you step in to find a half-elven female at the counter saying, "Good morning, gentlemen. How may I help you today?"
Morning. Was hoping to procure alchemy set and as many spare reagents for healing potions that you are able to sell.
I see. The alchemy set, I can set you up with a full alchemy set for 50 gold pieces. If you're interested, I do just have healing potions already brewed. I have checking notes. Can't remember if I said 2 or 3. I have 2 health potions and a greater health potion for sale.
Well, I appreciate that, I do, but a part of me would like to actually, let's say, practice the craft somewhat. Also, you say that you have 2 and a greater available right now. I imagine you're making plenty for guards. I may need more than just 2, even and the greater. So if you have enough spare reagents, I could perhaps make enough that I need.
She looks at you and she says, I haven't brewed them yet. I do have enough supplies to brew what I believe would be about 4 more. That's all that I have remaining. The guard in the army buys in bulk, no fewer than 10 per order.
Understood.
And so I don't have enough to create another order for them. We were supposed to get the whole city was supposed to get additional supplies in, but I heard that the ship that was bringing one of the key ingredients got waylaid by pirates, so who knows. But I currently, because I assume you talked to another individual, that's how you got this information?
Yes.
Yeah, he is correct, and there's no bones about it. I went and purchased all the ingredients I could from all the other individuals around, so I have enough to buy. I have enough that a skilled, a reasonably skilled potion maker would be able to make 4 if you don't screw it up.
Then I would like to take that off your hands if at all possible. As far as what you currently have available to sell, I have some friends I could recommend to you if they feel they want more than what I could make.
Okay. Well, I can offer the 2 that I have at 60 gold pieces each, and the greater at 120. As for the supplies, she thinks to herself, I can offer you 25 gold pieces per material's worth of 1 potion. So for all of it, I could let it all go for 100.
That is the deal, and I will get 150 gold handed to her for the materials plus the alchemy set.
The alchemy set. She says, very good. And she says, give me a few minutes to go package it all up for you.
All right.
And she does. It takes about 10 minutes to get everything packaged up. She says, for the price, I went ahead and put all of the ingredients for 1 potion in a little satchel case. And she hands 4 satchel cases over to you, plus a box that contains the alchemical set.
Okay.
Several beakers and dissolvents, as well as certain liquids. She says, and you know what you're doing with all this, because if you would prefer, I can just brew these for you to ensure that they're made correctly.
I do appreciate that, but I actually do know what I'm doing.
Okay.
Let's say I'm following ancient elven tradition.
She says, I understand. My mother taught me how to brew them as well. But have a nice day then, gentlemen. Thank you for the gold. And if you do desire the other potions and no one has purchased them, then by all means come on back and we'll sell those to you as well.
Absolutely. Thank you for being so reasonable.
Of course. Thank you.
Have a good day. So as we're walking out, I'm like, all right, enough materials for 4. Is good start. Milo, I think perhaps would still be good for you and Man to try and find some more if at all possible. We'll let them know about the potions available for sale here in case they want to just buy some that are already ready. Because right here, I mean, enough for 4 portions. That's going to take 4 days to make, at least for me to do it. And how much were you willing to put towards this effort again? Because 150 gold's a lot.
He says, I can, well, had you negotiated a little bit more, it probably wouldn't have been 150, but I can
negotiate. Why bother? Who negotiates?
He says, well,
this was the wrong season for haggling.
Yeah. He says, perhaps I should have been the one to talk, but I'll cover 50 gold pieces of your expenses.
Done. Appreciate. I'll make sure you get one of the first potions I brew.
Yes, you will.
Well, that I believe I know what I am doing with the rest of my day.
Okay.
Do you want to join me as I head back to the inn, or do you want to go off and do whatever it is Herringon wants to do?
And he says, no, I'll join you. We can't go to the hall. I believe the Duke said it would take 2 days before we got access to the Hall of Records. So I'll wait, and I'll join you, and maybe I can assist with the potion, just with my knowledge of nature.
Fair enough. All right, back to the inn. We have a long day ahead of us.
Okay. You guys, it takes a little bit of time to get back to the inn. Probably around 9 o'clock or 8:30 in the morning as you guys get back. And as you guys are walking in, Mon and Ara, you guys are walking down. And you catch them. Mon, you have a little bit of a headache. A mixture of the ale and mushroom from the day before. But you guys walk down and see them walking in.
Morning, comrades.
Morning. Looks like you've been busy already this morning.
Thought it good to get early start on making potions. Had some success, not as much materials as I'd like. So, Man or anybody else, if you want to try and forage for some outside the city, it would be appreciated. Was able to find enough that I can make 4 potions. It will take 4 days for me to do this thing, but I can make 4 potions. That said, the store, Moonlight Apothecary in Southern District, she currently does have 2 regular potions ready and a greater potion ready. 60 for regular, 120 for greater, if you wish to purchase them on your own. Otherwise, bring me whatever raw materials you can find, and I make potions until we don't have time to make potions.
You make me a list of what you will need. I don't know the raw ingredients on hand.
Here is list, and I'll just hand him the list that I had on hand. I can always make another copy.
Okay, Chase, go ahead and roll me a nature check.
Okay. Whoop. Okay. Not good. I also wasn't expecting nature. I was expecting medicine. That's why I offered.
Yes.
7 total.
7 total. Okay, looking at the list, some of the items, I mean, this is why, and I'll explain why I wanted nature in a second. Several of the items can be procured in the city. A purified liquid is needed, whether that be purified by boiling, by magic, or by or holy water would actually also work in its stand. One of the ingredients you're pretty sure grows, if not around the city, then at least on the Sword Coast. Some of the ingredients in their stand-ins, as far as you are aware, you can't be sure that it grows in the kingdom of Antambara. You're just not aware of whether it does or not. So you're pretty confident you could find 2 of the 3 ingredients necessary for a potion. As for the third and its stand-ins that could be used for it, as far as you're aware, you just don't know if it's even findable on the island. That's not the word that I'm actually looking for, but you know what I mean. Attainable, scavengeable. Scavengeable was the actual word I was looking for in on the peninsula.
Noted.
All right, very good. Ranshaw and Milo, I assume you guys go up to a room to start brewing your potions. Let's do this. We'll come back to that.
Okay.
Ara and Mon, do you guys want to do anything at the moment?
Go ahead. Sorry.
I would like to go search some armorers.
Okay.
Possibly.
Sure.
and see what they have. While I'm out, does anyone want me to look for anything specific?
I believe I'll be just fine. I'm not much akin to armor myself.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, let's handle that, and then Mon will come back to you. So similarly to Ranshaw and Milo, since you guys just the day before were kind of traversing through the Southern District, you get the feeling that that's where probably blacksmiths that are available for contract are going to be. After getting eating a small breakfast at the Coasthold Inn of eggs and fried bacon, you make your way out, and after about an hour or so, you do find a blacksmith kind of working on what appears to be a shield. And if you approach him, do you approach him about it?
I do. But on an off note, were the eggs the ones that I had, brought in?
Um,
I'm just kidding.
yeah,
All right.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
was
the
trying
bear
to
eggs.
think of a joke for that, and I just couldn't think of one, honestly.
All right. So I approach the blacksmith.
Okay. He sees you approach. He says, "Welcome. What can I do for you?" And he just continues working on it, kind of shaping the metal that for the shield.
Yes, my name is Arhra.
Okay.
I was trying to see if there's any splint armor.
Splint
For
armor.
sale. Yes.
That's, and he just keeps working on it. He says, "Someone might be selling that. I'm certainly not. I could make that for you. But to my knowledge, no one's just selling splint. That's a fairly expensive item and it takes a while to craft. No one just typically has a set on hand." And he keeps working on a shield. But of course, like I said, I can make it for you if you're interested.
How much would it be for you to make it?
He looks up and at that point, he does put the hammer down. He says, "Let me think. I could probably have it done for you. It would cost. I know for a fact I had this written down. Sorry, give me a second.
Everything I looked up said somewhere around like 200 gold pieces. So
I know. I'm just making sure I didn't make any adjustments.
Right.
I did not. He said, "Yeah, I could have. I could. It would take 10 days. But I could have. I could make it for you for 200 gold. I would need half up front." And then he thinks for a second. He says, "If I bought the chain shirt that we use as the base for it, I could have it ready in a single 10-day. But it would cost an extra 25 gold pieces, and I would need that amount up front as well."
What is a 10-day?
A 10 for your information, Larry. A 10-day is essentially a week in D&D. It's 10 days. In 5e, a week is 10 days long.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
So he's basically saying I could have it ready for you in a week. For 225 total, with 125 up front.
Okay, I can give you 125 right now.
He says, "Well, very good. Now, keep in mind, I am currently working on an order," and he gestures towards the shield. "But I'll have it. I should have it done by end of day tomorrow. So 12 days from now, I'll have it ready for you." He counts the 125 and he says, "All right, I do need some measurements to make sure that I fit this properly. Do you have about a half hour or so? We can make sure that we get this fitted for you by taking your measurements."
Yes, I do.
He says, "Perfect." So you guys take about a half. What was that?
Is it anything extra to have it dyed a certain color?
He's died. Huh. The whole armor, or like the metal, or the leather, or what are we talking here?
Maybe the leather.
Dye the leather. I mean, yeah, I'll need a significant amount of dye. Leather doesn't easily dye, but I could cure it. Might take an extra day, but I could, if I cure it as I'm sewing it in, I could do that. What color are you looking for?
Purple.
Purple? Okay. Do you need anything stamped or inscribed on the metal?
I'm not sure. I might have
Kind of need to know.
to. Could you do that in the future if I wanted to drop it off? And
We could, but it would take more. I hesitate to say yes. So you see, what happens with splint is we actually thread the leather, the metal strips through the leather. So if we're going to inscribe something on the armor itself, we need to do it sooner rather than later, especially with the front plate. Otherwise, we're going to have to take it off, put it back in. We might damage the leather doing that. It's not a good idea.
then I will go ahead and say no.
No. Okay, so just dyeing the leather purple.
Yes.
Okay. I can do that. It'll take an extra day and probably, and he thinks, 4 gold pieces for the dyes. I just don't have those on hand. I need to purchase them. And he says, let's say 4, and if I can get them at a better price, I can reimburse you that.
Alrighty. So I will go ahead and give you 129 gold then.
Okay. He says, very good. All right, and he takes you around to the side of the store, and he just takes a small strip of leather that has notches in it, and he writes down on a parchment length of your arm, each arm, bicep length or bicep circumference, shoulder length or breadth rather. Does the whole kit and caboodle on you. Takes about a half hour to make sure. And he says, all right, sir, 13 days, and I'll have it ready for you.
Excellent.
Good. See you then. Well, your name was Ara, you said.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Writes it down. All right. Goes back, reheats the shield that he was working on, and starts banging on it again to get that done. All right. Anything else?
I'm thinking I'm just gonna make my way back to the inn.
Okay. So he walked out, Mon. We'll say that, Larry, that takes about 3 hours. Excuse me. He walks out, Mon, and it's about 9:30 in the morning when he does that. Do you have anything to do with your day?
Just in that time frame, just kind of laid out a game plan for where I would look for the materials that I do believe I'm able to procure.
Okay. Go
and
ahead
maybe
and
converse with the innkeeper a little bit to see if he knows anything about where good areas for search might be.
Okay. So go ahead and give me, you know what? Let's say because you're conversing with the innkeeper, he points out to some of the items that you were unsure of if they grow. And he says, I don't believe, I can tell you, having lived around here, these do not grow, or at least not in significant numbers that I've been able to find. I know a lot of the apothecaries have been complaining about prices of purchasing silkworm skin that comes from the Moonshays. That's the closest place to the I don't know if it's the closest. I'm sure. And he takes a second to look at it and he says, yeah, I know X ingredient here grows around Neverwinter. But for whatever reason, people have just been purchasing silkworm skin from the Moonshays. As it seems, I guess it's cheaper maybe. Or maybe easier to come by in large numbers. But as far as I'm aware, having lived around Coasthold all my life, you can't find this subset of ingredients. As for this, purified water or blessed water, that's relatively easy to come by. You just need a magic user or someone or a priest willing to do that for you. These would grow around the area. I can't tell you a specific area. They kind of run throughout the plains, but I know that they grow around. Go ahead and make me a nature check at advantage. Or not a nature check, a survival check at advantage.
Oh,
Very good.
that seems better.
Yeah, much better.
Yay!
You
23 total if you care.
23 total. Okay. With the knowledge that he kind of points out several areas, and because you, as a part of that bandit raid, that you guys went out about a week and a half ago, you think you know of a grove area that some of it would be growing. So you're fairly confident that if you needed to, given a couple days, you could get enough of these two of the three necessary ingredients to make an additional 2 potions, but you're going to come up short on the third one. You just don't currently have the means of attaining the third one.
Okay. Heard that. So I'm just gonna grab ask the barkeep if there's not enough readily available for grabbing, but just get enough of the more preservable foods that we've been eating to take with me for, say, 3 days if it takes me that long, just to be prepared.
He says, I mean, I can let it go at the normal price for you. It wouldn't be a problem. And I can even package it up for you.
Is our food not taken care of through...
It is. If you're asking me for 3 additional days, I mean, I guess if you're asking me just to package the food that you would eat if you were here, yeah, I can do that. Not a big deal.
That was the idea, yes.
Okay, yeah. You want it now or...
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure. And he steps back. We're a little slow in the afternoons. And he steps back.
It's your snackage and you want it now.
After about 15 minutes, he comes back out with several what appear to be leaves, dried leaves, kind of wrapped around and tied together with a strap of leather. And he said, yeah, here you go. 3 days worth.
Look at
In the
here.
pack.
Lembas bread. And oh, look, more lembas bread. I'm sorry. I know I'm not even there, but you described it as wrapped in leaves. That's all I could think of.
Oh, I mean, it was a direct reference. I mean,
That was the idea.
That was the idea.
We got there. So you're still upstairs doing potion-y stuff then?
Yep.
I
Bubble, toil and troubling up there.
I assume you're in your room, so I rap on the door.
And as you
I get my food, head upstairs, rap on the door.
As you do that, Oric stirs a little bit, but he pulls the covers over his ears.
What you wanting?
I believe I can get you an amount of the materials that you would need. Some of it is more difficult to procure in a gathering sense in the area we are. But it should, rough estimates 2 to 3 potions worth of the obtainable ingredients.
Perfect. Thank you. I would offer to go assist, but I've already got the process started, and these things can get finicky if you don't keep an eye on them for the entire time. So,
Of course, was the Haragon wanting to assist me? However,
The Milo says, "I could join you. Absolutely. Are we going now?"
yes. If you ask the barkeep, he will ration out a few supplies for you for the journey.
He says, "Okay."
pack of snacks.
He says,
Hey, out of character, real quick.
"Yeah."
As a paladin, I can create holy water.
It might have been a reason I said.
But you say cleric. I didn't know that you're including paladin. That's why I just decided to look up holy water, and then it tells me how to make it, and I'm like, oh, I can do that.
Yep, you definitely can. Your
Okay.
character is not there at the moment, but
No.
he can.
He was giving you the knowledge without saying you can make holy water.
Milo hops down and he says, I know I said I'd help you, Ranshaw, but I think my
It's
talents
fine.
will be best assisting this way.
Agreed. These are just basic potions of healing. Should be able to handle just fine. If I was trying something more complicated, maybe different. But
Okay.
more important that we get more raw materials, in my opinion.
Okay. He says, I'll be downstairs waiting for you then. And he scurries out of the room, hops out of the room.
Yeah, we dip out to start gathering.
Okay. And what I'm gonna say is that Tarax actually joins you. So it's a 3-man party. Headed out a little bit safer on the roads. We'll come back to that. Let's come to the first potion here.
right.
What I need is just a herbalism check, which
Okay.
I'm going to say is wisdom plus your proficiency since you did your your thing.
Appreciate it.
Do your thing.
Julie, do the thing. All right. That's a 14.
14. Okay. And then I also need a alchemist check, which is going to be intelligence plus your proficiency.
Alrighty. That is going to be a 17.
17. Okay. You successfully make a health potion.
Woo! One down.
In fact, you're even able to shave off about 2 hours.
Yes.
So for 3 hours. So in only 5 hours,
Nice.
thanks to your ancestral knowledge, you are able to make it in 5 hours. So it's about early afternoon for you with that health potion. Now, you're going to work on that. I'm not saying that you're done. I'm not saying we're skipping ahead 5 hours. Auric, you wake up after Milo and Mon leave, and before Ara gets back, to kind of a funky smell. It's not downright rotten or necrotic, but it's the smell of soaking plants in kind of a steam and them letting off some of their toxins. It's not a pleasant smell, especially since you are also kind of suffering from a hangover from the ale and the combination of ale and mushrooms from last night. But you wake up in around 10:30 or so, 10:45.
And Renshaw's in the room, right?
Ranshaw's in the room, yes, working on his potion.
Well, that doesn't smell too pleasant.
Look, nobody said that potions of healing needed to smell nice. It get job done.
Well, I was just about to ask, but I guess this isn't going to be our concoction for tonight then, eh?
What do you mean by concoction for tonight?
You said you didn't have shrooms.
That is correct. This is not for the recreation. Come on. Let's get maybe do some actual work like the rest of us, eh?
Potions of healing. I suppose it'll do.
Look, I am just working on first batch. Have enough here to make I'm in the middle of making the first one. So I have enough here to make 4, working on first one. Looking good so far. We'll see how long it take. Mon, Milo, and Terax have gone out to try and see if they can help find more raw materials so I can make more. Not quite sure what Ara is doing.
Where
Is there
exactly?
anything you need from me?
Do you have any experience with making potions of healing?
You're on your way back, Larry.
Nah.
Well, then, right now, if you cannot keep quiet, I could use space.
Hey, I'll head down.
You head down. And I'm gonna assume you get kind of some food in your belly and
Yeah.
and some fresh water. And as you do, the lyricist is actually still there, and she's after a couple minutes she finishes the song she's working on. She says, all right, everyone, let me have a quick break to get some cold water and let the fingers cool off. Gives a wink to the crowd and walks over to the bar that you're at, Oric, and she says, she actually kind of nudges you, and she says, buy a lady an ale. And you look up to see a fairly attractive half elf standing in front of you. Seems to be in her 30 years old, so she's young for a half elf. Dark black hair, and she's just kind of looking at you with a warm smile and green eyes, and she says, I could use a drink.
I'll purchase you one. We can share it.
She smiles. Share it? Oh, no.
Share the moment over a drink. You can have your own.
Oh, how gentlemanly.
We can swap saliva later.
She laughs, but she brushes that off, and simply says, not exactly the most poetic with your words, are you?
Straight to the point.
Indeed. Speaking of getting straight to the point, and she takes a sip of the ale as it's set down, and she says, I hear you're looking for the Harpers, and just takes another drink of her ale.
I haven't drank my ale yet, and I go ahead and slide mine over to her. That I am. Keep talking. I'll keep supplying.
She smiles. She says, what are you looking for them for?
Would you like the abridged version?
I want the most direct answer to my question, since you're so in favor of such things.
I'm looking for the Harpers because I hear they're a group of individuals that take care of those who use their powers for evil, to say. And being my history, that's what I'm after. I want to end the reign of some dark doers.
And she says, well, that is a facet of the organization, but are you suggesting that there are powerful magic users in Coasthold that are planning some nefarious action with their power?
Not particularly. I came to Coasthold seeking an individual, or I guess the Harpers in general, because I had information from south of Farron, and my people met their demise, the Ironlight clan, because of a lich and his Draco Lich, and I wanna end them. I need to find them. And I figured the best thing I could do was seek people with like-minded desires.
Well, I don't disagree with your logic, but why Coasthold? Harpers are everywhere on the coast. Why not Waterdeep if you came from South Faerun?
This was just the first bit of information I came across.
What
I was searching just that there were a group of individuals here that were of that particular desire. I didn't hear anything about wherever you just mentioned. I've been
so
a nomadic type.
Specifically for the Coasthold Harpers.
No, just for the entity that I heard about, not specifically the Coasthold Harpers. When I came here,
so you do think the entity is here? I'm very confused as to what you're telling me.
I heard
her eyes are piercing you right now.
I heard information in my travels down south that there was a particular individual. I know not his name. I know not who he is. About an individual who resided here who had similar desires and goals as I did. And in my search for this individual here, I came across the entity, the group, the Harpers. So I've re-deviated my search to the Harpers.
So you thought there was an individual who was like-minded with you here?
Yes.
Oh. She takes another sip. Interesting. What would you
I
like the
just-
Harpers to be able to do if you don't even have an idea of where this powerful entity is?
When you say powerful entity, are you thinking the one that caused me harm? Or are you thinking
Well, that is the one you said you wanted to.
that's not the
End.
individual I was seeking here? I was seeking the individual who might have information about that individual.
Ah. So you do believe there's a lead here in Coasthold?
Aye, that's what I said.
Is it? Because all you said is that there's another individual that's like-minded like you.
Yes, this individual, I was told when during my travels in the South, there may be an individual here in Coasthold who has information about the individual. I know there's a lot of individuals, but the individual who caused the downfall of me clan.
Now we're getting somewhere. The Harpers can keep our ears out for one or both of these individuals that you know nothing about and that you have no additional information on. But if that's the case, I'm going to need something in way of assistance from you.
What might that be?
She says, well, unlike you, I actually do have information on a specific individual. Sets the ale down. Roll me a perception check real quick.
That'd be a 15.
15. Okay. Sorry, I just saw Ranshaw's message in Discord. You look down at her mug, and she's continually been bringing the mug up to her lips. The level of the ale has not gone down in the slightest. And she puts the mug down and then pulls out a rolled up piece of parchment and unrolls it. It's a wanted poster with 1,000 gold piece bounty for Tralus Flint Forge. She says, do you know anything about this individual here?
I have not heard of this individual.
Well, we're interested in her. Do you know why? Do you know why this poster or that the guard is looking for her?
Well, if I'm assuming you're a part of the Harpers and why the Harpers might be looking for her, or you mentioned and the guards are looking for her.
This bounty was placed by the guards, but the Harpers do want to find her. She was apparently involved in what the guard calls a murder. Supposedly, the story goes, she broke into a baron's city manor, stole some items from him, and killed one of his guards. And we would like to find her before the guard does.
Why would you like to find her before the guard?
No, listen. Anyone who's willing to kill a hired mercenary for a individual with too much power in our society may be of value to the Harpers.
So you're after like some sort of protection order for her,
Oh, maybe.
keeping her away from the guards.
Maybe. That's our business. If you know any information on her, though, we'd take it. Because let's be honest, I don't know about you, and maybe this is a bit assumptive of me, but a young dwarf like herself breaking into a well-protected manor, murdering a mercenary, and then making off with whatever she made off with. I don't know. I think there's more to that story.
Am I able to perceive if like her, whenever she was mentioning something about the lines, we'd be interested, like in that when I mentioned protection order?
You can make me an insight check. Sure.
That would be a 19.
A 19? Okay.
I just want to make sure she's not mean, because I know who this individual is. I want to make sure she's not meaning harm.
You get the feeling with that check, she does not mean harm to this individual. She is being intentionally vague, trying not to give you the specific reason. But if anything, you're getting a vibe of her being impressed, or perhaps at the very least sympathetic to an individual wanting to strike out against a a member of the nobility.
If I should be able to procure this information, would I find you here?
I will be playing here for the next couple of days. If not, go around several of the other inns and ask for Estrella. They probably won't know anyone you're talking about, but word will get back to us.
Understood. Now to the first order of business. You mind ducking down a wee bit?
She gives you a smirk and she says, "I'll sooner cut it off." And then stands up, walks over back to her spot, and with the brightest smile you've ever seen, she says, "Shall we play some more, gentlemen?" And begins strumming the lyre once more. Clearly the conversation's over.
Oric walks away a little bit. The worst you could do is shoot your shot.
Yeah, Hobbit PTSD indeed, Andrew. It's weird. It's the weirdest part of that whole series. That whole trilogy is bizarre. It's completely unnecessary. Anyway, you're muted, by the way.
You are in fact muted.
Curses! My own little rant was just Hollywood took one look and went, "No romance. We can't have that. Let's shoehorn it in."
Yeah. We have Evangeline Lilly. Someone has to come on to Evangeline Lilly. All right. The conversation takes about 10 minutes. Oric, do you have anything else you'd like to do?
After receiving that information, I do go back up to disturb Ranshaw.
Okay. Ranshaw, I need you to remake your checks at disadvantage. I'm just kidding.
Gosh darn it! You picked the wrong season to mess with me.
I'm not even in the room yet. I hear Ranshaw talking to himself.
Looking
to
down
myself,
at his potion stand.
Yeah. He must be having a hard time with them potions.
You will obey me.
So
No,
I'll
you
go and walk
were
in
the
the
one
room.
that will toil in trouble.
All right, so I walk back in the room. Ranshaw!
What?
I suppose I should be a bit more quiet, considered your concentration. It's the hangover. It's getting to me.
What's he consecrating in his room? Anyway.
What do you need, Oric?
Do you remember that dwarf we encountered? That we ended up, going into that Lord's Manor? Still on the map she wanted?
Tralus Flint Forge, I believe. What about her?
The Harpers, an organization I'm interested in pursuing. They pursued me, or the Lyris did, and she mentioned that they were interested in.
That's not how I remember that conversation going. I believe she threatened to cut it off, actually. I'm just kidding.
I wasn't there for it. He's telling the truth as far as I know.
I just like the idea that he's like, she's totally into me. She's pursuing me.
She's just playing hard to get.
Yeah.
She expressed interest in her, and for some murder, supposedly, because of the person we fell inside that house. But from my gut feeling, the Harpers want to protect her. They're interested in her from a means of maybe asking her to join. Do you remember where we could find her?
As I recall, when we spoke with Cleverback, I thought he mentioned that she was currently being held under suspicion. Like, I thought she was with the city guard.
Roll me an intelligence check. Both of you can. Both of you can roll me an intelligence check.
Yeah.
Am I back at the end yet?
Not yet.
4.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Just 19.
Okay. Yeah, that's not what he said. He said
bad notes. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. He said the guard is looking for her and he can't that's why he was hesitant to even use her name. He just said a mutual
Gotcha.
friend, and the guard was looking for her under suspicion of murder.
Gotcha. Sorry. Ooh, so let's roll that back. It's like, no, do not remember where she said that we could find her. I know that the Cleverback mentioned that the guard is looking for her. I imagine she has gone underground, so to speak. As for finding her, I don't know. Somebody of her talents, I get the feeling that perhaps she might have some unexpected potential friends in higher places. Perhaps you could make inquiries with our own benefactor, see if he knows anything. He strikes me as the kind that wouldn't immediately have her brought in by the guard. Not if he felt that she could be more useful outside of official capacity.
That's a good point. I'll head down to the barrels and see if I can get a knock or two out of them.
It's worth a shot. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go back to counting the number of strokes. 1,452, 1,450. One, two.
As Oric's walking out, you sure that potion's who's daddy?
All right. You go downstairs to the cellar and you just start knocking. And you sit there for about 15 minutes and no one answers you. And at this point, we'll say, yeah, Ari, you make it back to the inn.
Now, out of character, real quick, since I wasn't present, with the Cleverback individual mentioning he was a friend, is that an individual I could particularly pursue? Do I know the whereabouts of Cleverback?
Yeah, I mean, canonically you weren't there, but I'd say we'll just say someone in the party told you about it since you weren't really present. So yeah, I mean, you could try.
Okay. So after waiting, that's what I'll do. I'll just venture to try to go towards Cleverback.
You walk out as R is walking in, so you guys cross each other's path.
Or
he understood it. I knew he could speak chicken.
Oric, where are you headed?
I'm going to see Cleverback.
Fair enough. I was going to see if you wanted to go with me to check in with the Order of the Gauntlet.
Order of the Gauntlet, eh?
Yeah.
My mind's a bit fuzzy, but have we spoken about them before?
We have. Remember the time I was in jail?
Yes. I recall. I think the Order of the Gauntlet is definitely on the agenda, but the Harpers are an organization I'm pursuing first, and the Order of Business I'm pursuing right this moment. It coincides with that. So
right.
Ranshaw's up in the room making his potion, but I'd love for you to join me if you'd like.
I will join you then.
Okay.
Do you recall how to get back to Cleverback?
Yes, I do. He might happen to have something he's making for me.
You lead the way.
Okay. It takes another 45 minutes or so. You guys go back to the Southern District, and to Precious Metalworks, and you walk in, and see. I can't remember. Well, I'll come up with a new one. A female gnome at the front, at that kind of the front desk, kind of shuffling papers. And she sees you two walk in, and she kind of scares. She says, "Can I help you, gentlemen?"
We're here to see Cleverback.
Do you have an appointment?
Unfortunately, no.
She says, "Well, I mean, he is the head jeweler. He's very busy. If you'd like to wait, I can send a request and see if he's available."
It's regarding an urgent matter about his friend.
And what friend should I say?
An individual who happens to be under particular suspicion that we're trying to assist.
Do you have a name?
I'd prefer to keep it a little bit more private than that.
Listen, is this illegal? We're an honest business here. I don't.
By no means.
by no means. Yet you want to talk to someone about an individual who's under suspicion.
Yeah, but I understand it is suspicious what I'm saying, but do you go around airing your laundry for everybody to hear and see?
I mean, if I'm asking that person to send a message to another person, yes.
Ma'am,
He's
just
here for his ring.
ma'am, just let him know that Arha would like to speak to him. He knows who I am.
Ara. Okay, thank you. Are you the one? You know what? Doesn't matter. She writes a letter and she rings a little bell, and a young, like 14-year-old human male walks up. And he says, and she hands him the parchment. She says, "Christopher, please take this to please find Cleverback and bring this to him." He nods and takes it off and runs out.
Does she also almost throw up? Or...
No. And about 30 minutes later, Cleverback comes back and he says, "Gentlemen, Ara, good to meet you. And I'm sorry, you are
Arctic Stronghammer.
Nice to meet you. What I do believe I said that the ring wouldn't be available for another 9 days. Is there something else is there something you're inquiring about?"
Yes, sir. Would you mind stepping away from the desk so we can talk privately?
I mean, we can go to my office, but what are we talking privately about?
A friend of yours.
His eyes go wide and he goes, "Follow me." And he takes you up to his office and takes you to the same seating area. And he says, "I assume the friend is the same one who turned me on to you gentlemen as potential assistants."
Aye, that'd be the case.
She says, "Okay, what can I help you with?"
I was approached by Asteria of the Harpers, and they're interested in finding. Is it true? How do you say her name?
Tralus.
Tralus. Okay, they're interested in finding Tralus, and it seemed from my intuition, from a matter of protection, they want to keep her away from the guards. They're interested in what she's done and what we assisted her with.
I don't need to know anything about what you assisted her with, especially if it's what got her in trouble with the guard. I wish I could help you. If you're coming to me asking for assistance in finding her, I do wish I could help you. But she spoke to me before the bounty was placed on her, before the warrant was placed out on her arrest. I have no idea where she's currently at. I can tell you where she normally frequents, but I would imagine that she wouldn't frequent that area if she's under suspicion anymore.
That makes sense. Should you communicate with her any earlier? Do you think whenever Ara comes to pick up his ring, you could inform him?
If she speaks to me before that happens, I can. Again, it's, she's an acquaintance, a friend of mine. I respect her forging talent, but I personally, we don't see each other frequently, especially now.
That's understandable. It was a lead I just wanted to pursue. Cross it off the list.
Okay.
Well,
I appreciate your time, sir.
we are staying at the Old Coast Inn, so if you do get word from her, that's where we are.
Says, all right, I can do that. Thank you, gentlemen. And as he's opening the door, he said, he kind of loudly says, "Yes, like I said, the ring will be available in 9 days. We'll see you. Come on back then, and we'll see you. We'll make sure that it's fitted properly."
Thank you, Cleverback.
Walking out past the gnome. I'm sorry I had to be so discreet. My friend's special needs, and I just try not to shout it out to the rooftops. And then I start.
Are you also reanimated? What was that?
His special need is being undead.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The gnome just doesn't even know how to react. She goes, okay, thank you.
After
Do you understand
listening
why I
to
say
him
suspicious?
perfectly coherently talk to Clarvac earlier.
Oh my gosh.
He has his moments of clarity. What he wants, he knows he wants.
Episodes of Disability is crazy.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well, we've stumped DM. That works. He's slacking in the chair.
All right, it'll work. Let's. What's the plan now?
Shh. Not here, not now. We need to exit the facility.
Are you sure you're not the one that developed the tick?
All right, I'll walk out of the shop.
Okay. All right, you guys. I'm just gonna say, go back to the Old Coast Inn. We'll say that the rest of the day, the rest of the next couple days goes off pretty well. Let's just do this let's get the 3 days out of the way for the next potion set.
Okay.
So give me a herbalism check and a alchemy check. Again, the herbalism, wisdom plus proficiency.
Yep. Let's see here. Day 2, herbalism is an 11, and alchemy is a, good lord, 21.
Okay. Again, you're getting them done quicker than you anticipated. The second one only takes 4 hours.
Okay.
And so you decide to go ahead and make another one that second day. So go ahead and roll me those checks again real quick.
Nice, yeah. There we go. A 21 for herbalism and a 22 for freaking alchemy. Good lord, why can't I roll like this in combat?
Yeah.
This is amazing.
So the second, you were able to get 2 done in the second day. The
Nice.
second one on that day only takes you 3.5 hours.
Nice.
As your Fey ancestry comes back, it seems that you've had several individuals in your line who were either alchemist or herbalist or both.
Okay.
And then the final day dawns. Give me one more check. Give me 2 more checks.
Third day.
Roll like that, says the person who literally pushed everyone off the boat into the water.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough on that one. That's a nat 20 for a 26 on the herbalism check.
That seems good.
Followed by a 7 on the alchemy.
Ooh. Okay, so you get a little cocky. You get a little
Yeah, I
cocky on the
do.
last day. You're getting the herbalism part of it, which is the majority of it. It's a magic potion. It does require a little bit of alchemical process, but for the most part, it's a naturally occurring potion. So you get that part of it done in like 3 hours, and you're like, this going good. Well, I guess you'd be in autumn at that point, so you're like, this is going really well. And then part of
Actually, summer.
it'd be summer. Serious.
Winter, spring, then summer.
Yep, you're right.
I'm kicking this potions.
All right.
Yeah.
Look at this potion, cool.
And you start to like mess with the alchemical part of it, and you accidentally knock over a vial. You're quick enough to stop it from mixing with the ingredients too early.
Skate.
Was that potentially a Powerpuff Girls reference?
It was not meant to be, but
It
listen,
wasn't Chemical X.
It was a chemical X. So sugar, spice, and chemical X.
you're quick enough to stop it from mixing in with your ingredients. It was a chemical that wasn't meant to be a part of the potion. You just accidentally knocked it over from the alchemical kit. And you're fast enough to move it out of the way. Unfortunately, you waste a little bit of the alchemical kit, but you get that skewed, and you're
Fair
like,
enough.
whew. you decide to slow back down and get the job done. So it takes about 5 hours the second day to complete the potion. But you successfully made it. You got all of them up.
Yay!
You forgot everything nice.
You're lucky that it's a simple potion.
Yeah.
You understand. You have Fey ancestry knowledge of making more challenging potions, and you know that a mistake like that, it wouldn't have mattered. It would have been gone. Just the mere presence of them in the same vicinity would have been a problem.
Exactly.
But because it was a very common potion to make, it was acceptable. But you have 4 health potions. Congratulations.
There we go, guys. Yay.
Now, Mon, go ahead and give me a since that's 3, we're essentially doing 3 days. Go ahead and give me a nature check. And you may do so with advantage. Actually, not advantage. You have a +4 from Milo assisting you. So nature check
+4 on top of my.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
+4 on top of whatever your nature is.
Why are we doing nature? Oh, that's not terrible.
No.
That's going to be an 18 total.
18 total. Okay.
Nice.
So it only with his assistance, it takes you guys about a day to get out and find the location where these ingredients are taking up. And then you may give me a survival check again with a +4
Okay.
to actually get some of these ingredients up.
Ooh, worse. Although not that much worse with an extra +4. Well, it's not great. 11 total.
11 total? Okay.
Yeah.
It takes you the better part of a day. You do keep kind of every once in a while it's a little bit more tricky to get what you thought or to get what you need than you thought. And so unfortunately you keep cutting some of the stems of some of the wildflowers that you're trying to get a little too close to the root. And it's actually you need the root itself. You're trying to pry the roots out, and unfortunately they keep snapping off. After a full day, you're able to get enough that you think you'll be able to use for a single health potion.
And that's on first day.
That is on the first day. It was a day to get there, and then you spend a whole day procuring that amount. And then you still have the 1 day rations that you procured, but your pack should have additional rations. So if you want to spend additional days out there, you can.
And I believe Milo had mentioned before that he is also able to procure rations.
Yeah, I mean he got the same amount you did.
Well, I meant like he mentioned something about having the ability to.
Oh, I don't know if that was him or if that was someone someone else. Hold on, let me double check. I will check.
I don't know who else it would have been.
So what you're talking about is actually the Outlander feature, which is probably
I see.
Actually. But let's see. I'll double check for you. This is the nice thing about playing in. Oh, I'm looking at yours. Apologies. Milo Littlefoot. What's his?
If it would streamline it, I could also, while we were looking for the wildflowers, we were also looking for just some extra natural nuts or berries as we were gathering.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he didn't mark down his background in here, and I don't see it in his featured list.
I could be misremembering, but I'm probably about 85% certain it was Milo that mentioned it.
It would make sense. We'll go ahead and say that he can, to streamline it. I don't see that it's specifically the Outlander background, but given my knowledge of his backstory, I don't really see a reason why he would choose anything else. So we'll say that yes, he has the ability to find food and drink for a day's worth. So I'd say that given this patch that you are out there, you have there's certainly enough for an additional 2 days of attempts if you want to continue. And he can
You said I got enough for
you got enough
two
for one
potions.
For one on that first
One,
day.
okay, one potion. Yeah, I'll we'll do one extra day and make a decision to head on back from there.
Okay, so this is day 3. We'll say day 3. You go ahead and make me again the nature or the survival check with the additional +4.
Yep, much better. That's going to be a 19 total.
A 19. Okay. That is just enough to get 2 days worth of HP potion for this ingredient. This ingredient enough to make 2 HP potions.
Okay. So is you said that I was able to find 2 of the ingredients that he's going to need, and we're currently just working on one of them?
Yes, you're currently working on one of them. The other one is a purified liquid of some type, whether that be from by the holy water.
Oh, okay.
Purification. So,
and then I don't think I was there when you said out of character you can procure it, correct? That wasn't an in-character thing that you said?
Definitely out of character when I had said
yes.
that.
Yeah, because
okay, so your character hasn't mentioned anything about it thus far to the group then?
I haven't run into you to tell you.
No.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
You're correct.
Okay.
So you're just getting this one ingredient.
All right. So that's sure. We'll just head back. That should be plenty for now, I'd assume.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and with Milo only needs to procure you 1 day, which he certainly can, and then you guys get back. So, 4 days total arrival for you, and you're back in Coasthold. We'll just say that the 4th day for you guys, that because you would be done crafting the day before. Yep. And Mon and Auric just kind of go about their regular business. So we've got about 15 days left for you guys to kill. And we'll say that you get back at the end of that 4th day. So with on the 15th day, you guys are back at the Old Coast Inn, rested up, ready to go.
You mean the 5th day?
Yeah, 15 days left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Could I have been in those days? Because I do need holy water for, which I actually have one on me for when I use bless.
I'm sorry. What was the question? I'm answering.
What was I doing in those?
I mean, do you have? I mean, I was just gonna say you're just kind of chilling.
Because here's the thing: is for me to make holy water, it requires 25 gold pieces worth of powdered silver per one.
All right. Yeah.
So I can throw in the one I have already because I haven't used. I don't have I even used bless yet?
No, but I mean, you technically don't need to because you have a holy symbol which acts as an arcane focus.
Based on my spells list.
So how spells work, Larry? You do need to have those materials unless you have an arcane focus, and if you have an arcane focus, it acts as the required materials, as long as the materials in the spell don't specifically say that they have a cost, a gold cost. So technically speaking, holy water has a cost because you need 25 silver pieces worth. but because in the spell it doesn't say that it is of value, your holy symbol acts as an arcane focus, and you don't actually consume holy water by conjuring bless.
Okay. Fair enough.
Because spell casting was mean back in the day, where you had to keep track of all these ingredients that you had, and they were just like arcane focuses because reasons.
Yeah.
And now it's pretty.
Okay.
All right, so you guys are all Chase. You just messaged. You're at the Old Coast Inn right now, with 15 days left. What I said is you got back the night before, so you rested up at the Old Coast Inn. So it's a new day.
Okay.
All right, so day 5. Oh, look. Hey guys, how you doing? We're back to autumn. So I got good news, everybody. I was able to successfully make all of the healing potions that I could with the materials. So that's currently 4. I realize there's more than 4 of us. For now, Milo gets one of the first ones because he, directly helped finance this venture. Mon, I think it only fair that you and Terax get one, since you went out to hopefully find some more materials. Don't know how successful you were. And then I think I'll go ahead and hold on to the 4th one for the time being. Were you able to get enough materials for me to make some more, so I can hopefully get some for our dragonborn and dwarf friends?
I reach into my pack and pull out. I reuse the packaging for the rations to.
Sure.
So folded up in this leaf is. What was the total that we decided on? 3 total.
Yeah.
So it was one,
So
one, and then 2.
Yes, there's 3 total. There's 3 total potions worth of root of Scarlet Iskander. That you can use as a stand-in for one of the normal ingredients. It will probably create a health potion that tastes a little funky, but it's useful for actually creating it.
Mon wouldn't know the exact amount this would translate to, but so he hands it to you and says, "Here is an amount of what I could find."
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I can absolutely use this. Let's see here. Okay, I think we still need to probably get ourselves some purified water. Don't know if we should go ahead and search in town or ask Ara if he could perhaps assist with that.
I can assist. It does require, if we're doing 2 more, it requires 50 gold total.
3.
What's that?
There was 3 total.
So
Oh, there's 3 more?
Yeah.
that seems like a lot.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just making some purified water. Like, is this like holy blessed water? Or?
Yeah, it's holy water. Unless we can find some purified water that's cheaper, I can make holy water.
Have we tried boiling water?
I mean,
Everyone can make me an Arcana check.
hey, roll good. Autumn Ranchon knows nothing. That's 2 total.
14.
7.
I rolled
Well,
a nat
total.
1 plus 1.
No one rolled above a 15.
No.
Yeah, boiled
We
water
don't-
will work.
We have no mages in the party.
Yeah. Boiled water will definitely work. Yep.
Oh no.
As far as you're aware.
To be fair, you did say boiled water earlier.
I said, yeah,
You did.
I did. I definitely did. And your characters are definitely using that information.
Gosh.
It might be correct. You guys don't know.
Well, what's the worst that can happen?
Someone get the bread up.
Before we do
Well, I mean, you
that,
guys don't even have the ingredient, the missing ingredient necessary. So even if you only had this flour plus some type of purified water, you're still missing one of the third ingredient necessary for the health potion.
The
Okay.
silkworm skins or whatever you
Silkworm
said.
skin or some type of stand-in, yes.
All right.
So we've got some amount of material. Maybe I should go back to Moonlight Apothecary and get their opinion on what we could use as substitute materials.
I mean,
She seemed right.
your list had substitute materials.
Oh,
None of the substitute materials that because
Okay.
if you're comparing notes with Mon here, Mon went to the tavern owner and said none as far as he knows. Now, of course, he is just a tavern owner,
Right.
but he has business. You know, he talks with
Right.
other business owners. As far as he knows, none of the substitute items for silkworm skin are naturally occurring on the peninsula of Antimbara. He knows one of the substitutes could be found in Neverwinter, but obviously that's a trip to Neverwinter.
Yeah.
Most of it has been purchased as silkworm skins itself is a substitute, and it has been purchased from the Moonshays.
Gotcha. Do we know about how far the Moonshays are from Coasthold?
About a 10 days sea travel.
Oof. Yeah. No, we're not going there to get it ourselves.
Might as well go to Neverwinter.
Probably don't even want to risk that, honestly. I know that we were able to make it in technically 7 days before, but that was with a chartered vessel that was I don't think we could guarantee getting there and back in time to make our benefactor happy. Well,
We might just need to be shilling out at this point.
yeah. Well, at the very least, it wouldn't hurt to go back to Moonlight Apothecary. Again, get her opinion on if there, what on that list could be found locally, maybe, since, see if she has a better idea. And if
She
not,
could have restocked in 5 days' time. Some of the
Yeah,
ingredients.
right, could have restocked some of the ingredients or some of the extra, some of the raw materials. And worst case scenario, we just people who don't have a healing potion can try to purchase if she still has any.
I can go with you and go ahead and purchase one if need be.
All right. So yeah, I think Ranshaw's going to go ahead and make a little trip to the Moonlight Apothecary and get their opinion on things.
Okay.
And these were just basic potions of healing, correct?
Yep, just
Yes.
basic.
Okay.
What was it? 2d4 plus 2.
Yes. All right. So you guys walk. You guys start walking back to the Moonlight Apothecary in the Southern District. Mon, give me a perception check.
And I'm just putting in my acquisition of the potion. Okay. You want an active check?
Yes, active perception check, please. Actually, no. You know what? Yes, yeah, I do. For what you're referring to, yes, I want an active.
Ooh. Unfortunately, that feat does not give me proficiency in perception, but that's still going to be in dirty 20.
A dirty 20. Plenty. As you're walking, you notice a poster put out by the Grand Casino in the River District with a silhouette of a horse-drawn chariot racing another horse-drawn chariot, and on the poster it says chariot races come to Coasthold. And you can't remember why, but something triggers in you. Something familiar triggers in you about it.
Something big, something blue.
So it's not a grandiose memory, but as we're walking, I see it and I kind of get like camera zoom onto the eyes, like in That's a Raven.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh God!
And
there's a callback.
But for the past, not the future.
Yeah.
And I get a glimpse of of my past and some semi-vivid memories of
they're not even full memories yet. It doesn't even feel like you remember something specifically about them. They just it's almost it just feels like a familiar feeling, something that you used to do, perhaps an activity, but you don't even have specific memories of them. It's just
okay,
something there.
Just a sense of nostalgia.
Yes.
Okay. So that just kind of just hits me in the chest a little bit as we go by, and then I turn to the other gentleman and I are we not all walking? And then
Yeah, you are all walking together. You just see the poster as you're walking to the Moonlight
Yeah.
Apothecary.
Yeah, well, it just hits me, and I just kind of turn to them, and then I say, I think I would like to check out these chariot races later.
Yeah, for sure. That could be fun.
So you're just shaking your head, and I was like, what am I saying?
That's because
wrong?
he put something in chat, which is just whatever.
How much horsepower do these chariots have?
It's for you, Chase.
How much horsepower does? Shut up, Larry.
I would imagine anywhere from 2 to 4 horsepower.
Roughly 2.
If they're large horses, maybe 2.5.
Less than a Mustang. Anyway, you guys make it to the Moonlight Apothecary, and she's like, "Oh, welcome back."
Yeah. Hello, thank you. So
You're an
I want-
Eladrin, she says.
Yeah.
I didn't even make the connection last time you were here. My mother used to talk about Eladrin, but I've never met one before.
Oh, well, it dawns on me. When I was here last, I was in my winter aspect, a bit on the brusque side, so I want to apologize and let me formally introduce myself. My name is Ranshaw Cathil. Nice to make your acquaintance.
It's wonderful to meet this version of you.
Yeah, for sure. Wanted to say thank you for your assistance. I was actually able to successfully make those potions.
Wonderful.
And I was wondering if you were in that time, if you perhaps procured any more raw materials, and if not, uh, I have this amount of this material here, which I know we can use for about 1/3 of the necessary ingredients. Um, but I was hoping to get your opinion on where we could get some good purified water around here, as well as possibly a substitute for the silkworm uh, that might be a little more naturally occurring in the area, even if it's perhaps more difficult to procure.
Well, she says, first of all, Larry, remind me the holy water. How much cost is it for the silver, or how much in silver cost is it?
It is 25 gold pieces worth of powdered silver.
Okay. What she says is, first of all, regarding the purified water, any type of magically purified water will work. So, I know there's the spell Purify Food and Drink, or whatever it's called. I apologize. I myself am not a practitioner. What I do to purify my water is boil it in boil it with a silver coin and a tinge of the alchemical kit I sent to you.
Right.
There's a chemical in there that will transfer the antibiotic properties of the silver coin into the water as you boil it. So you need to mix some of that chemical in with it.
Right.
It will work. It will work as purified because there's obviously boiling, which matters. But with regard to creating potions, purified needs to be purified physically as well as metaphysically, which is where that process in the
Gotcha.
alchemical will transfer the purity of the silver into the water itself. It will consume the silver piece. Be aware of that.
Makes sense. All right.
But you can do it that way. What you've brought me here will act as the stand-in for the herbs that you would normally use. As for silkworm skin, which is what a lot of us around the city have been using since the war started. Since it's easy, frankly, it's mating season for silkworms in the Moonshays.
Gotcha.
And so they, as a part of their mating ritual, shed their skin with their mates. And it's actually quite a beautiful process. It smells like shit, but it's beautiful. And then people collect them.
Shit.
Beautiful shit. And then people collect them, and we've been getting orders of them. We're supposed to get a new shipment from the Moonshays 3 days from now.
Right,
I don't
okay.
know if it will include silkworm skins. I imagine that it would. I know a lot of people are expecting it. But like I said, we were supposed to get it 10 days ago. And
Gotcha.
for whatever reason, the shipment never came. The whole ship was waylaid, we suspect, by pirates. But we can't know for sure. So
Gotcha.
theoretically, we will have more specifically of that in the next 3 days.
Right.
Otherwise, a trip
so-
to Neverwinter would be used for for one of the other stand-ins.
I wonder if any
Gotcha.
of these ingredients were on that boat that I burnt down.
Excuse me, what?
So, as it so happens, a couple days ago, well, I say a couple, it's been longer than that, about half a 10-day ago, we happened to be on our way back from Neverwinter and via boat, and we were waylaid by pirates, but my friends and I, we were able to fight them off. In the process, the pirate ship suffered an unfortunate case of the flamies, and
The flamies. Okay.
kind of sort of burned. No idea if this pirate ship perhaps was responsible for your waylaid shipment or not. We were kind of fighting for our lives, to be fair.
Sure. No, and I mean, unfortunately, piratism has, shall we say, blossomed since the war started. Our naval and guard forces are just taxed at the moment, and unfortunately, the pirates are taking advantage of that. I had a friend of mine who was an herbalist. He turned pirate. Never did see him
Oh.
again. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Hopefully, in 3 days' time, there will be more of these silkskin worms. Silkworm skins.
All right.
Excuse me.
I understood.
Ah, yes, the skin worms.
luckily, no one tripped that out at the beginning of this session. The bugs are in my skin.
Like that scene from
Cut them out, cut them out, cut them out.
Well, it seems I must think about the consequences of my actions, apparently.
How
That
did you
could have
burn
been
it?
it.
Describe the flamies to me?
Well, so I was a little busy, but as I recall, some sort of rather radiant, almost divine-like fire seemed to strike their sails and set them ablaze.
Oh,
And then a lamp somehow ended up onto the ship.
yeah, that sounds more natural. Yeah, okay. Well, I don't think I want to know anymore. You guys have a wonderful day.
Fair enough. Thank you very much for the information. And so, just real quick, this shipment, perhaps if you do get any, if it does involve some silkworm skin, would it be beneficial to try and purchase it from you directly? I wouldn't mind giving you some more business. You seem awfully nice.
She says, I mean, I wouldn't. I'll be honest with you. You can theoretically purchase it by wholesalers. I purchase many of my ingredients through wholesalers just because the dock warehouses don't just open up the crates and let us purchase them directly from the dock workers for whatever reason. You can try and go buy it from a wholesaler. I will try and sell it to you for a fair price. This specific ingredient, excuse me. This specific ingredient is 4 silver pieces normally. I would ask, or gold pieces normally, for enough to make a potion. I'm sure a wholesaler would allow you to purchase it. I would ask 5 just for my own markup. If you're not going to buy my own potions, I would need a little bit of money. I can't just break even.
Well, so how's this? I plan on, if it does arrive, I plan on buying at least enough to make 3 more potions. So what say I give you 20 gold for the amount for those raw materials when they come in, and in return, you sell us, if you still have them, your 2 regular potions of healing for 55 each instead of 60.
55 each. Give me a persuasion check.
Yeah, we're gonna try it.
While he's doing that, did you just make up D&D iodine earlier?
So what now?
The whole silver.
Oh yeah,
the silver piece in the boiling water.
No.
All right. Now, persuasion. Oh, well, I forgot I actually took proficiency in that to help with my not amazing charisma. 16.
16. She says 56 per HP I could do.
You know what? That seems reasonable.
Okay. Yeah, that's a little bit that's a little bit less, but I'll take the markup. Thank you very much. So that would be in 3 days' time, assuming we get it, because again, we don't know.
Right.
That would be 136 total for the 2 health potions and enough of the silkskin worms to make 3 additional potions.
Right.
Okay. I accept that offer. And she holds out her hand to shake it.
And I'll go ahead and shake her hand. It's like, oh, I knew it was good working with you. You seem like a real good person.
She's great. Great. Well, I'll see you in 3 days then.
All right.
All right. So just so everyone can't read this probably because most people watch YouTube on their phones. Oric has to bounce early. Good night, Josh.
Night, guys.
Good night.
See you guys
I
next time.
expect you to pay for part of that healing potion.
Of course.
Work that out amongst yourselves off camera. Take care, baby. He can't hear that. He dropped off too early. Also, for this, I didn't even say this at the beginning. This is his first session back after becoming a father. So, yay him.
Happy Father's Day in the comments and what have you.
We'll send you some D&D iodine. All right. So you exit with that deal. You can come check back in 3 days' time. I know you're running out on time a little bit too, Andrew. So let's speed this up a little bit.
Yep.
You guys go to the casino.
Okay.
And there's a track. The casino owns a track where the chariot races would presumably take place in this arena. And Mon, you can see, as you guys are walking up to the casino, the chariots are hooked up and several teams seem to be not necessarily going all out, but, you know, trotting the track, getting a feel for it, letting their horses get some exercise. And as you're kind of leaning up against a rail that overlooks the arena, and suddenly you're overtaken with a memory. It's very vivid. It's almost a hallucination, and you've had some experience with hallucinations. But it's palpable.
Very recently.
Yeah. You can feel, you kind of, to take your words, zoom into your eyes, and from your POV, you get a flash of a previous event where you were piloting a chariot. And it's real enough. You can feel the leather straps in your hand and the taste of the dust being kicked up. And your heart rate accelerates. And then it flashes again to a medal being placed around you as you kneel before a roar of a crowd, and you can hear it in your ears. It doesn't give you don't know where, you can't remember where this happened, but you definitely remember that you have piloted chariots in chariot races before.
But the feeling of the atmosphere in the race is very much alive in this memory.
Yes, incredibly so.
So we stopped by on the way back, and like everyone's with me.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
In fact, this is like Halo 3 when when Cortana flashes in front of the chief and all the Marines turn around and are like, "What the fuck? Like, what's going on? Your vitals just dropped to 0." Like you're like your heart's pumping and you're struggling with with processing it at the moment.
I'm white knuckling the railing, and then I turn to the other gentleman and I would like to participate in this. I just had a memory from before the monastery, and
That's
I've
awesome, Mon.
been very good at this in the past, and I would like to participate, and this is a very, very vivid feeling that I would like to remember.
Absolutely, I'm all for it. Who do we got to talk to around here?
So near the chariot lineup, is there anyone that's like doing like checkups on the horses or?
Give everyone well, Mon, you specifically know what you're looking for. Give me a perception check, you specifically.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yep. I've never seen a horse before.
No, you're just still overcome with the sense of the memory, and so you're having a hard time focusing. So at the moment you're not seeing what you're looking for.
Okay. Just walk up to either a stable hand or whoever is around the horses.
So from where you're at, you're unable to get down into the arena.
It's down in the arena.
It's down.
Okay.
You're clinching a rail overlooking the arena at the moment. So you're basically at street level, and then the arena is set about a story and a half or so below. And you're just watching them kind of trot around the arena at the moment.
Okay. Is there like a front entrance to the arena?
Christ almighty,
or...
Andrew. Sorry, what was that, Chase?
Is there like a front entrance or like a box office, if you will, for the arena?
You're unable to, with that perception check, because you're unable to focus, you're having a hard time seeing it. At this point, I will allow Andrew to stop searching for things and roll me a perception check to assist.
The memes must flow. Perception, you said?
Yeah.
23.
23. Okay. So Andrew, what you're seeing is that the entrance to the arena itself seems to be below ground, below where you're standing. Seems to be below the bleacher section, the amphitheater. Okay. There is, that you're able to spot, a stable section on the other side where it seems the horses are going in, that maybe someone will be able to, you could maybe find an entrance into there.
Gotcha. Mon, I think we need to go in this direction. So we should go this way.
Okay. And what I'll just say is that, with the general idea of where you're supposed to be going now, it's not hard to find your way down there. It takes a little bit of time because you're not familiar with the layout. But after about 20 minutes of walking around, you find your way into the stables. And there are, some of the horses have been trotted back. There's at least 16 teams worth of horses throughout here, in multiple stable sections. They seem to be housing about 8 horses per stable. And there's probably a total of anywhere from 30 to 30, anywhere from 30 to 36 horses total, and maybe not all of them are being used for the race, but certainly a large amount here. And you stop next to one who kind of pokes its head out at the stable at you, and neighs at you a little bit.
Okay. The horse that is more or less grabbing my attention. I just walk up and then gently caress the jowls of the horse.
Okay. Give me a animal handling check.
Okay. That is going to be a 17.
Okay. It appreciates the kind of gentle stroking and pressure. And it seems to neigh at you as you kind of sit there and kind of brush it for a few moments. And then you hear a voice in the back say, "Excuse me, I would appreciate it if you'd leave my horses alone." And a woman in her early to mid 50s approaches you with certainly fine clothing on, and says, "Those horses are not exactly the standard quarter horse that you'll find in the country."
I'm familiar with the incredible. Oh, I'm losing words here. Sorry.
It's all right.
It's not dark in the morning for you or anything.
Yeah. I'm quite aware of the exquisite specimen that this horse is. It's quite obvious, thoroughly bred.
They are. That's why I'd ask you to step away. And she pulls out a sugar cube and just kind of moves your hand away and offers the sugar cube to the horse. And he takes it eagerly. But he kind of neighs back happily, and she goes, "Oh, it does seem that he did like you. It's just a shame that he won't be able to race." And she kind of strokes him.
Mon's ears perk up slightly. I was like, that is a real shame. Why might that be?
Oh, my pilot broke his arm 2 days ago, and I have no replacement for him.
Well, a horse of this caliber should obviously participate, and I happen to be quite a skillful rider myself.
A rider is... This is chariot racing, my boy. I'm afraid riding horses offers very little comparable skill.
Well, it's not exactly a plane now, is it, pilot, my ass?
It's proper wording. Continue.
Yes, pilot, apologies for my misspeaking.
Oh, that was in character. Oh, shit. What is a plane you speak of?
No, the plane part was out of character. When I
Okay, I'm
said
sorry.
rider, I was misspeaking.
Gotcha,
Since
okay.
we're being
No,
semantic
okay,
and pretentious.
Okay, all right, very good, thank you.
Technically, wouldn't it be a charioteer?
Yeah. You've driven chariots before.
I had the time, a long time, but the rust comes off quite quickly.
Huh. Well, that may be, but I'm afraid, as you've already pointed out, these are thoroughbred horses, and I can't just trust them to the random stranger. So I'd rather save them for the next time, whenever that is. Chariot racing will be provided in Coasthold.
Perhaps I could give you a showing of my skill, and you could provide judgment from there.
Give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion? Could I yell at her instead?
No intimidation, persuasion, please.
Play
Ooh.
nice.
That's a lovely 4 because roll 20's on one tonight.
4. And she says, I'm afraid they've been put away for the day, and we've already made arrangements to bring them back home. It is a shame. And she looks at you. She looks at the horses, and she says, I have to announce my pilot by the end of day tomorrow. You will have to be thoroughly impressive. But I will let you trot them out for me, at least for their daily exercise, and we'll see what you can do.
So meet back on the morrow then?
Early in the morning, please. She walks away. I'll have my pilot here waiting for you. Look for the individual with a broken arm.
Duly noted.
All right, Mon. You've got a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance?
I think you can do it, man. Man, Mon, whatever.
All right, so you guys go back for the rest of the day. The next day comes about, and you go out there and meet her pilot. Pretty quickly, pretty early. Sun is just rising. It takes you about half an hour to get over there. But you meet it. You meet back at the stables, and you see the horses, and there's no one around at the moment. And so you just kind of wait patiently for a few minutes, and then the horse comes up, and you brush it again. And finally one says, "Are you the one who's looking to take my place then?" As a male walks up with an arm strap lashed to his chest.
It would appear so, considering the circumstances, gesturing towards the arm.
He says, "Yes, well, I was looking forward to making my debut in Coasthold. Chariot racing's just not very common outside of Am or its colonies. I was told you raced. Where did you used to race?"
I don't know.
He just looks at
see,
you blankly. Excuse me?
You see, I have very few memories outside of the past. How long have I been at the monastery? Or how long has it been since
the
I don't know if
incident?
I don't know if we established a time frame for how long our training was.
I think we left it intentionally vague. I think if I remember, and you can tell me, Andrew, your backstory said that he's been there for at least 5 years.
Yeah, let's see here.
We'll retcon it. Let's just say that it's been, we'll say it's been 6 years, and we'll retcon it if need be.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good. Because I'm actually not seeing a specific number of years that in the bio.
I don't remember it ever coming up.
Yeah, we'll take a page out of soft story writing and just say it's.
Yeah.
We'll just say
we kept it loose and free.
Yeah, we'll say it's been at least 6 years. It's hard. It's honestly hard to know for sure because you don't even really have memories but from before that time, and so it all just kind of blends together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have many memories previous to about 6 years ago. So seeing the arena has jogged my memory of racing, but the region or whereabouts are still left unknown to me.
And he looks at you and he says, "Uh-huh. Well, listen, I was instructed to assist you in getting the horses together to the chariot and seeing what you can do. That doesn't fill me with confidence, but my mistress has ordered a test, so let's do that." So he gets you guys up and ready. And you start out by just trotting them around the arena, letting them warm up for the day. And then you start to put them through their paces. Go ahead and give me a animal handling check.
Okay. I know in the race, the proficiency with land vehicles applied is.
It applies to give you advantage on any animal handling check that you would like to make up to a number of times equal to that proficiency. So for you, that's 2. So on any animal handling check that you would like to run during a race or during this exercise session, you can give yourself advantage twice.
Okay, I won't use advantage on this check since we're just getting into the warm up and
Sure.
getting into the pace of things. But so we'll go ahead and roll that. That's going to be a 10.
A 10. Okay. So you're starting to get a feel for the horses and what they're ready for at the moment. You warmed them up a little bit, but it seems that in the early morning they're still working some of the rust out of the wake up.
Well, Chris still getting warmed up a little bit.
Yes, you do get a sense that one of the horses, if we're referring to that sheet, has at least one of the horses has a power of 2.
Okay.
And
So-
it is put in the anchor position already.
So 2 horsepower.
Huh?
So 2 horsepower.
At least 2 horsepower. Who knows? It is already put in the anchor position. It seems that they're aware that this one has a slower gait and that they've put it on the inside to better corner turns, which is in keeping with your idea. It's starting to come back to you about the strategy of horse placement.
Okay.
You trot it out. Go ahead and give me another animal handling check as you come into another curve.
Okay.
Oh, very
That
good.
one will be a dirty.
Very good. So you go ahead and give the horses an amount of time to warm up more, and then you go ahead and try and gallop them for an entire turn. And you notice that the horse that the anchor horse has a very high stamina. In terms of our game, it has a stamina of 5.
Even with the picking up of the pace, it
loves it. It very clearly, it's got a smaller gait, but it can go for a long time. The other one starts to struggle immediately. And it seems that one has a stamina of only 1. So you're getting a sense of how hard you can push them. And the pilot that you're taking the place of yells out, yeah, that one doesn't like to be pushed as hard, but he is faster.
Okay, I kind of nod to myself and continue monitoring the horses and getting a feel for the chariot and how well it rides.
Yep.
And yeah, just keep pushing them through the.
Okay. And you're able, you test a couple times trying to slow them down to see how quickly that they can slow down to better corner, and then pushing them back up to get that speed. And again, you're getting that sense that one of them can do this all day, and the other one is slowing them up. But that you need that because when you push it, it'll turn those corners. Give me one more animal handling check.
I will go ahead and use advantage on this one.
Sure, absolutely. Oh, very good. Yeah. I believe that's a total above 20 with a 19.
Yep.
So you get a sense that for both of them, as you're pushing them throughout the day and having to go ahead and get them to gallop past their natural limits, you find the natural limit of the anchor horse and get him to pass the bounds. They both have an endurance of 3.
Okay, they both have an endurance of 3. Outside is faster for picking up on the turns,
yes,
to kind of accelerate into the turns almost, and then the anchor horse is good at keeping the stability from the inside.
Yeah, slower horse got the weight to help the other turn. Is much better at picking up the speed. But they both are of good health. You know that they've both been taken care of well. and they're both able to push past their own limits a relatively healthy amount.
Okay. And then I assume the previous pilot is watching from up on the railing,
He is.
or like up from the viewing area.
Yes.
And then so I ease them down into a passing, and then I just look up to him and I say, "I'll meet you back at the stables."
He goes, all right. Yeah, we'll go ahead and bring him in, shall we? And he does, and he meets you, and he goes, all right. And he pats one on the shoulder and says, they do enjoy a good sprint. How do you feel about them? And he helps break them down and get them in their stables.
I give him a breakdown of what I felt from the horses as we rode, and how the anchor horse felt, how the faster horse felt, the sprinter felt, and so yes, they're both magnificent in their own right, and they felt as good as any I've ever worked with.
Well, they're not the. And he says he fake holds the ears when he says, my mistress does have a few more well-bred horses. These aren't necessarily the best in her repertoire, but they do the job well, and they work together well. That's why they're paired here today. I'm impressed with your knowledge, I have to admit. However, it's very different trotting horses out without other chariots to battle with. Are you sure that you can handle this?
I'm sure you know as well as I do that the feeling of the race is what we're here for.
He nods. He says, yes, but just because you can feel the race doesn't mean that, okay. Sorry. Just because you can feel the race doesn't mean you can win it. Especially if you don't even remember, your past experiences with it. I mean, you'll have to forgive me, but how do I know that you won't just panic in the middle of the first time a guy pressures you to the outside?
I believe you misheard or misunderstood. I remember the races. I do not remember where the races were.
Go ahead and make me another persuasion check. And in fact, I'll let you do it at advantage, since he's impressed with your handling of the horses.
Yep. That is going to be...
We believe in you.
16 total on the persuasion.
16 total. Okay. And yeah, I saw your message. I was looking at it. If you need to hop off, Andrew, by all means, if you can stay on, great. If not, if you just randomly disappear, then I'll understand.
Thanks.
He nods and he says, all right, I'll make the recommendation to to the Countess. She'll put your name in. You need to be here sharp tomorrow. We don't know who your opponents are going to be yet, but you need to be here sharp tomorrow. Early morning, sharp tomorrow. Yeah.
I'll be here.
Okay. All right. Another night goes through, and Ara, unless you want to tell me that you're doing something, we'll just say that the day goes by. Okay.
Day goes by.
Day goes by. Okay. Next morning rises. You get up at early sunrise and go out there. You can immediately tell the energy is different. The races aren't going to start until mid-afternoon, but there's officials down checking the track. All the owners and the pilots are checking their chariots and checking their horses and making sure that they're fit for the day. The pilot, whom didn't even introduce himself yesterday, meets you along with what you garnered as the Countess. And she says, Ronaldo tells me that he's impressed with your handling of the horses and does in fact recommend that I allow you to pilot today. I submitted your name last night. The officials will be here any minute now. And she checks down the stable lane to see how far they are down to get some information from you. It's only a one race for us this afternoon. I don't know when yet. If you win, the purse is 2,500 gold. I will extend to you 250 if you win, 10%. Second place is 1,000. I will extend to you again 10%, 100 if you get second place. Third and fourth, get a paltry amount. No reward, essentially just enough to cover the cost of the race itself. So I would maintain that. So if you get first or second, you'll get something out of this. Otherwise, well, better not hurt my horses, or I will have your guts strewn up around the arena.
I find that a little extreme and hard to believe, frankly. But if I don't podium, I don't expect anything from you. But my thanks for the opportunity.
Okay. Roll me an insight check real quick.
Okay. That's going to be a 15 total.
Okay. Whether or not she would follow through with that threat, you can't really tell. You could still be pretty you could still discount what she said. But with the authority she said it, you have no doubt she would have the ability to make it happen. At least attempt to make it happen. But yeah, so the officials come by, they ask you some questions. They, because of your answer about you don't remember where you ran and everything, they kind of discount your past experience a little bit. And they say, all right, we'll take that into account, but you're the racer. You get the third heat 4 hours from now. You'll line up against, and he points out some of the other teams. He says you'll line up against them, and them. And yeah, good luck to you. Reaches out his hand to shake yours.
I'm fine with continuing on this session, but would you want to just, that might not be a terrible place to pick up next session.
Next session? I'm fine with that. Are you good with that?
Yes.
Okay.
We just dropped down to 2, and
we have. I was trying to get to a point where we could move on with the story at the end of the at the end of the session. I know 16 days was a long time, but I was trying to get to a point where we could just pick it up.
we still have to go pick up the Riga protection.
We still have to get it. Yeah, there's going to be a
the
lot.
Potion stuff.
There's still a lot to follow up on. So yeah, I think this is a good point. We are down to 2 people. That's not a bad suggestion. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. We will leave it off there. I know this was a very role play heavy session. It was planned to be. I wanted to give these guys an opportunity to try and explore their backstories a little bit. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. We'll pick the story back up hopefully by the end of the next session. So hit the subscribe button for more. Thank you guys again for tuning in for us. And like I said, share your love in the comment section by hitting the like button and subscribe button if you can appreciate the willingness of these guys to come out and embarrass themselves for the internet. But I've been your host, Jacob. These guys have been our players. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Chase. Thank you, Andrew and Josh. Hopefully Melvin and Levi will be back with us next time. But we will see you in the next one. Have a wonderful night, day, or morning, wherever you're watching this, because it's the internet and you can watch it at any time. Bye.
Good one.
All right, checking audio. 1, 2. All right, good. Larry?
Yo, it's me, your friendly neighborhood Larry.
Okay. Ranshaw?
Yo, I'm here to start the session, man. They're all
Jesus.
good.
Okay. Oric?
Wow. I hope my mic works.
Ooh.
Step DM, what are you doing?
Whoa.
And there's the short for the episode already.
Fairly adventuring. Take 2.
Adventurous in more ways than one. All right, looks like we're good.